Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing how to do hand expression. If you don't already sort of have a background with breastfeeding, you probably don't know how to do it. And this was my experience when I first started. When I eventually learned how to do it, it was a very, very valuable skill. I'm going to list a few reasons why it's actually super important to have this skill, okay? The biggest time where this skill is going to come in very, very handy is when you have a clogged duct. If you've experienced it once, you know that it is the bane of every breastfeeding mother. During those times, and I'm talking from personal experience, you still haven't really properly figured out how to pump as well yet, haven't figured out your settings properly, and then add a clogged duct to the mix and you've got a whole situation on your hands, right? Where you're just lost and confused and your breasts are hurting and it's engorged and some parts are sore and you're just desperate to get this milk out, and it's difficult to breastfeed because the milk isn't coming out. That's if you're actually like nursing, and it's just a whole lot. It's a whole lot. And so I really want to help those mothers out if you haven't encountered it already as a new mum. The second thing as well that hand expression can also help with is the pumping process. Okay, so hand expression can actually make the milk come out faster when you're pumping. It's actually a valuable skill because what you can do is that before you start pumping with a breast pump, you can actually hand express first. It's sort of like get the juices flowing, so you can actually see the milk coming out. You can see, okay, I've got milk in my breast. The milk has already made its way to your nipple and you can see it dripping. And then you can then start pumping, and it can actually make pumping a lot faster because the whole initial process of sort of trying to pull the milk out and through your ducts and out of your nipple, that is cut short from hand expressing. So being able to hand express for like 1 or 2 minutes before pumping is going to be really, really useful. Thirdly, you can hand express when pumping is not working, and you're going to have those times. Even like experienced pumpers, they have days when their pump isn't working, when they're not getting out milk and they've been pumping for years. So you're going to have those days, you're going to have those bad days where you're trying everything and just the pump is not responding and the milk is not coming out, and you really need to empty your breasts. And you don't have like a manual pump, and even sometimes manual pumps don't work as well. So that skill again becomes super valuable. Number 4, hand expression becomes super valuable when your breast is too full, and sometimes you need a little bit of relief, especially for like oversuppliers where they tend to have a very forceful letdown. Then hand expression becomes very valuable because you can hand express first so that your breast isn't engorged, so that the milk rate can like slow down a little bit before you then start nursing. If you don't want to almost choke your baby from the intense letdown, then you can hand express beforehand, store your milk for bottle feeding, and also be able to nurse the baby as well. And then finally, you can hand express when you want to fully empty your breasts or you want to more fully empty your breasts. So whether you finished pumping, but you can still feel that there's some milk that has been left behind and you really need to get the milk out because you're trying to increase your milk supply, that's a very good reason. And so you kind of want to get out as much milk as you need to, then hand expression can actually be very, very valuable in that moment because you can then get a few more ounces just from hand expressing. Or when you're breastfeeding and your baby looks full or is satisfied, but your breast, you can still feel that it's full, or you can still feel that there's quite a bit of milk there, then you can also hand express to get more milk out as well. Because as you find out in future videos, the more you empty your breasts, the more your milk supply is going to increase because it's all based on supply and demand. Okay, so now that I've shared why it's important to have this incredible skill of being able to hand express, I'm going to show you how to actually do it. Okay, so the first thing is that you need to understand breast anatomy, because obviously we are trying to get out milk, but we can't see what's actually going on inside the breasts. So because you can't see it, you need like a mental picture in your head, and then you can picture it in your head while you're actually doing the hand expressing. And trust me, it makes a huge difference in terms of the results, because you understand what's going on underneath your skin. Okay, so the main 3 things about your breast anatomy that you need to understand is that you've got the ducts, you've got the lobules, and you've got the lobes. So let's start with the ducts, because the ducts are what are closest to the nipples. So the ducts, you can kind of see the ducts as roads. So the ducts are basically where your milk passes through to get to the outside world. And you've got lots and lots of them, thousands and thousands of them, right? Just pathways, so many pathways. And basically what happens is that as they get towards, starting from deep inside your breast, right? From the back areas of your breast, as they get towards the middle, they start to join. It's almost like little small roads that join together to form a highway. They join and join and join, and so the road becomes bigger, or the ductway becomes bigger. And so when you get to the nipple, you've got the biggest pathways. So those are the ducts. They're the highways for the milk. Then the second thing that's important is where the milk is actually made. So the milk is made in these little sacs called lobules, okay? And if you see in the picture, they're like almost like clusters. The milk is made deep inside the lobule, and there are lots of them. There are lots of them packed together. So you've got lots of milk making areas deep inside the breast tissue. And when the milk is formed, it flows out from the lobule and into the ducts. Remember, the ducts is like the highway. And then when it gets into the ducts, it then joins, because obviously you've got milk flowing from different lobules all around the breast, and all the milk are all joining together to flow down the ducts and all the way out from the nipple. Now, a group of lobules are called the lobes. It's just a bit like a bunch of houses being called like an estate, or a bunch of villages being called a town. Okay, so a bunch of lobules are called a lobe. So you've grouped a lot of lobules together, and you've got lots of lobes as well across the breast. So when you think about it, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of milk making centers in your breasts. So basically you can get these breasts to make milk, whatever type or shape or anatomy of your breasts were made to produce milk. And so it's just about understanding how to effectively get them to do that. And a big part of that is understanding what is going on behind your skin. So that's it in terms of breast anatomy. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and comment, and I'll see you in my next video.